Drop the brace.
What's up, guys? It's Ryan here from FullHouseRS. Today I kind of wanted to talk, I guess a struggle isn't really the right word, but it's going to be basically how I got all of my money on RuneScape, pretty much. So in the background right now, you're pretty much seeing what I did for a majority of my noob days. I was fishing rocktail. That's actually, I fished rocktail for a really long time trying to get full bandos, because I really wanted to start working on combat. And in case you guys didn't know, I used to be a level 3 skiller on my now CompCape account. So, you know, I had to get money for all the armor and stuff. And it was really expensive, and I didn't really have another way of making money. So, in the beginning, I started fishing rocktail, you know, getting all my combat stats up or whatnot. And then I started to do a lot of barrows. I didn't really take any screenshots of anything from barrows, mainly because it wasn't really that great money. I mean, it was probably the same as fishing. And then sometimes, you know, obviously I would get really lucky and get a lot more. So after I got into combat, I trained all of my combat, besides ranged and magic, with Slayer. And what I actually did for ranged and magic was I went and cannoned Ganodermic Beasts, and I used a Polypore Staff. It was about like, I would say like 40k an hour or so. I don't really remember that well. But I was also making 3 mil an hour cash, which is really, really good. And that's where I had all this money, and I was like, I'm gonna max. But Ganos do get boring. You know, obviously, I know it's really like monotonous. And, you know, I would go for like 2-hour trips, and sometimes I would be there all day. So actually what we did is, my real life friend, you're gonna see him in the video a lot, his name's GM Kenny. He came back to RuneScape a little while after I had taken a break, and I had gotten my full bandos or whatnot, and he was broke too. So what I did was I lent him my bandos, and he went to Frost Dragons, and eventually he got his own money for bandos and whatever. And then we decided that we were gonna get rich together, basically, and we went and did a lot of God Wars. In the background, you're gonna see a lot of, well, this is like all of the pictures I could find. I know that there's more, but I couldn't really find them, and we didn't take screenshots of all of them. We mostly did Sarah and Arma, and on screen now, you're gonna see my first Sarah hilt. I mean, just look at like my stuff. I had a Soul Wars cape, and I had a borrowed, was that a BGS? Yeah, it's a BGS. So, I mean, that's just showing that you don't need the best gear to make money at bossing. I mean, if you can, should you upgrade to the better gear? Yes. If you were soloing Sarah all day, every day, and that was how you were making all your money, would I say to buy Virtus or whatever you use at Sarah? I'm pretty sure it's Virtus. So that you could last there longer, get more kills, and get more drops? I would say yes. Because I feel like most people, they try to make money, and they expect it to just happen really fast. So pretty much after I maxed, I was pretty much broke, and I didn't want to do Ganodermics, obviously, and we didn't really boss anymore. My real life friend quit again. So then I was really like stuck at how to make money. But then obviously after I maxed, I didn't really play RuneScape that much. It was last summer. I had like a 60-hour-a-week job, so even if I wanted to play RS, I didn't really have time for it. So I wasn't really worried about that at the time. But then once I started school, I had a lot of like more free time. And that's when I started dungeoneering. And obviously you don't need any money when you dungeoneer. So like I just never touched my cash. I had been poor for a really long time. I know that in our intro video, I think I said I had like a 200 mil bank, between 200 and 300. But I was probably over exaggerating. It was, all I had was the Glacier boots set, and then like bandos, Arma. I didn't even have subjugation yet, I don't think. I have an arcane that is my real life friends, and it's just like, I kind of keep it for sentimental value. Like, I don't think I'll ever sell it. It's the arcane that I use all the time. And I'm never gonna sell it because, it's my friend's arcane and, it kind of like means something to have it, I guess. But basically, what happens after you max is that you're not spending any money on any skills anymore. So your money just tends to like pool up, and after a while you'll have like 50 mil extra and you're gonna be like, where the hell did this come from? Obviously there was a long period between me getting 120 dungeoneering and then me going for comp cape, mainly because of the glitches or whatnot, because I was like the first to encounter a lot of them. So I did have like a long period of time in between, when I did get both of them, and I didn't have any money for any of it, and now it was really like discouraging for me to want to play my account now, because at the time, like, I didn't have the gear for next. Like, back then, like, me and Bob, we didn't know any of the people that we go bossing with now. So it's not like we could have just picked up our stuff, went to next, and made a shitload of money. We didn't have the gear, we didn't have the people. I mean, we did have decent gear. I didn't have Void back then either. But the thing is, nobody would have taken us, and so, I know how that feels. But then, what pretty much happened was, I was still poor, and when Calfight King came out, me and a group of 6 or 7 people, we all decided that we were going to go to Calfight King. And after a while, we started making a shitload of money. Like, I guess this is kind of a spoiler for my road to 1 bill. But, I actually have the Drygor Maces, which I bought for like 400. And then I also have now 250 mil cash. So I've pretty much made 650 mil, probably a little more, because I did spend some money on certain items that I kind of wanted to have. Nothing really special though, but it was probably around 50 mil. So I did make 700 mil. And what I kind of wanted to show you guys is, don't be afraid to go and try bosses just because you don't have the best gear. I mean, if you look at my Calfight King video that we had, kind of like, I think it was like a week after release, we were all using Void and Sammy Spears and stuff. We didn't have Drygor, but we were still getting kills and stuff. I mean, if you really want to go make money bossing, get a group of friends and go. It doesn't matter your gear. I mean, obviously, now that we have Drygors, we can 3-man pretty easily. But before we had Drygors, we would need like 6 people. Don't be afraid to take more people than you need. A lot of people are telling me like, oh, I can't do this because I don't have Drygors. I can't do this because I don't have Torva. Just go, make up for armor or stats and sheer numbers, and just go. And don't be afraid to try things that are new. See, you're actually going to see on screen now, it was me and my friend GM Kenny, and we were at Sarah. And a lot of you know, pre-EOC, what you kind of had to do, I think they call it kiting, and it's pretty much she gets on you, and you have to run away, and after the person that's attacking gets like 3 hits in, it'll switch to them, and then you attack. So we used to do that a lot, and then one day we were bored, and we were just like, hey, want to try walking it? And I was like, okay. And that's actually a picture of me getting red barred on my first ever try. But I mean, we did learn how to do it. So my advice to all you people that are in the position that I was last year, it was about a year ago. My advice to people that were in the same situation as me is go and find a group of like-minded people and just try to figure out a way to make money together. I mean, you guys saw, it was not that long ago that I did my first trip to Nex, and now, after going to Nex a bunch of times, I usually tank because, I don't know, I'm kind of the bitch, but I learned how to tank from going there and learning how to tank myself from what I learned how to do, just trying it out. And we would do trial and error. It's like, alright, on a blood phase, why don't you try bringing it here and we'll see what happens. Oh, that didn't work, let's just leave it the first time. But then, what about on ice phase and blah blah blah. My advice to anyone that is like trying to get into PvM, doesn't have enough money, you're going to want to focus on God War's dungeon. Just because I know that like a lot of people in my clan, they're not really the best PvMers, they don't have the best stats or the best gear, they don't have Drygors or anything. They all go to God Wars together, And I think, like, that's pretty good. That's what they need to do. That's what I did. While all the pro people were doing Nex and Corp or whatever, I was doing Sarah and Arma, which were pretty easy. You don't have to be rich to make money. That's a common thing I hear. It's like, the rich get richer, or you have to have money to make money. No, you don't. I didn't have money, and, I worked my way up, and now I'm kind of close to having a 1 bill bank. So, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day.